Hey everyone, John here with Edge Paintball with another weekly video. This week, I'm going to show you how to set up your brand new HK Army SABR paintball gun. So let's say you went to our website, proedgeppe.com, you picked up your new paintball, your like entry, mid-level type beginner paintball gun, HK Army SABR. You're like, all right, I got it home, now what do I do? I'm new to paintball. This video is for you. So you can go ahead and grab your box, open her up. Inside your box, you're going to get a nice little O-ring kit. So there's a couple O-rings and your Allen keys. You're going to need those. Go ahead and set this aside. You're going to get your barrel sock and your little quick start guide. So we're going to pull the barrel sock out. Lay that outside. And then, of course, your paintball gun. This is their gray. It's pretty nice. And your 12-inch ported barrel. Good to go. So what I really like about their box, before I get too far, is they do have a diagram on here. So if you're ever having problems with your gun and you need to figure out what's wrong with it, the parts diagram here will tell you kind of at least your part numbers and what to ask for when you're trying to order those parts. The SABR is very reliable. We very rarely have any problems with them. So it's one of our favorite entry-level like starting paintball guns. It is mechanical, meaning no batteries, no rapid fire, anything like that, just semi-automatic. Okay. So now that we've got this out, I want to go ahead and grab my barrel sock. I'm going to go ahead and put it around my barrel here. Good to go. And go ahead and tighten my barrel in. So they do make upgraded barrels for this gun. They're going to be auto cocker threaded. Typically an upgraded paintball barrel is going to look like about $30 to $40 depending on the brand. HK actually makes a really nice 14-inch one-piece barrel. 14 inches obviously going to be the length. One piece means it's not two pieces because they make a two-piece barrel. They're typically going to increase your accuracy so that way you can, of course, eliminate more players. And it can be much quieter because they have more porting on them. So for about 40 bucks, you get a pretty significant increase in performance. So once we put the barrel sock on here, we're going to go ahead and pull the elastic around the back of the gun like this. You're good to go. All right. So the reason why you would need your tools, because you're going to open them up. We're going to go ahead and put the hopper on. Sometimes you get lucky and the hopper doesn't need to be adjusted, but sometimes it doesn't. So on the left side of your gun here, there is a small Allen screw. This is going to be your clamp that's going to hold the hopper in place. So I have the HK Army. This is a gravity fed GFX hopper. And so no batteries. Again, it's just gravity feed, but they have a nice little shelf on the inside here. So that way the paintballs aren't just all crammed down on one small hole. And that way, as you're shooting, your normal movement helps agitate and move the paintballs around and feed very fast. So these loaders are pretty awesome. Okay, so we're going to take our hopper. We're going to go ahead and lay it right here on top and right inside the little opening of our feed neck. And sometimes, okay, so right brand new out of the box, this one will not fit. So that's why we need our Allen key. So we're going to go ahead and take it here and loosen it up. I just did a couple spins. Pretty straightforward. And we're going to try to force it again. And you'll see it opens up just a little bit. Hopefully you can see that. It opens up just a little bit on the back. And we're going to go ahead and snug it up. Good to go. So pretty simple. You know, some people say this might be pretty straightforward, but you know, some people have a lot of questions and want to make sure they're doing it right. So what you want to do here is don't really want to over tighten the screw. You just want to snug it up so that way the hopper doesn't spin too much. Realistically, the best thing you want to do is you want to make sure you can get the hopper out in the middle of a game if you have a ball jam or something. So you want to make sure you leave this where you can spin it around, pull it out, but not where when you go doing, you know, a head first dive or something like that, your hopper flies off and you have loose paintballs everywhere. Okay, so we have the hopper, barrel, sock, barrel, and now you want to take your air tank. So before you put your air tank in, you want to go ahead and put the gun on safety here on the left side of the gun, safety, and you want to cock this part back. The purpose of that is if you don't, the way the mechanics of the gun work, sometimes you'll get an air leak out the front, so it is recommended to go ahead and cock it back, and I do recommend put the safety on so that way you don't accidentally pull the trigger. So typically when I'm standing up, I'd go ahead and point the gun down just like this and drop the air tank or lay it down nicely straight up and down. Now I'm not forcing this. So some people try to put the air tank in the gun like this, and this is just annoying because you're trying to push up against it while trying to spin it. If you just, I promise you, if you just take it just like this and drop it in there, it will spin very easily. You can see it. I'm not having to force it. If you have to force it, something's not right. You want to make sure it's straight up and down. And then if you're doing it correctly, you can actually hear the air up inside the gun. Just a little bit. And you want to give it another like quarter turn. And you're good to go. If for some reason, real quick, if you're ever unscrewing the tank and this bottle is coming off from this valve system, you want to stop what you're doing and take it to a local paintball store, paintball field. or somebody that feels comfortable with what they're doing and is trained. That means the bottle is possibly going to shoot off because of the valve system isn't working correctly. Very rarely do you have that issue, but when you do take the tank off, you want to make sure that you pay attention to those pieces. That's why they're actually painted here. You can see there's a little white line. That's so that way you know, like, you pay attention to if the bottle is coming undone as you're doing it. So again, you don't want to over tighten this bottle either. You just want to do it snugged up and you're good, ready to go. When you do take the bottle off, there's a small hole here on the bottom that the air will vent out of. So as you're unscrewing the air tank, you want to make sure that air hole is pointed to the ground and not at somebody else. So that way as you're unscrewing, it goes psh, a little bit of air comes out and you're good to go. So this is pretty much it. This is the main setup, what you're looking at. When you're ready to paint, ready to go to the field, you want to open your hopper here, pull your paintballs in, make sure that latches that straight, and then on your left side of the gun, you're going to go ahead and push from the right side, you're going to push the safety out so you can fill on the left side, and we're ready to fire. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger a couple times. And you're ready to rock and roll. Good to go. Out of one 20-ounce tank like this, you should get about 1,000 to 1,200 shots out of a hopper, which is going to be about 5 to 6 hopper fulls out of your standard paintball hopper. So if you're looking for a entry-level paintball gun to play like in your backyard and you don't have a place to get air real easily, CO2 is really nice because if you do have a place that can fill it up, it's going to give you more shots per air fill for a lower price. These bottles are about $30 compared to the other type of air, which is compressed air. It's a little bit harder to fill those up anywhere but a paintball field or paintball store. So if you have any questions about that before you make your purchase, make sure you give us a call or comment below. I'll reply back to your comments. So if you're out there shopping for your first paintball gun and you're curious on what to get, go ahead and comment below. I'll make sure I help out as much as I can. This is one of my favorite setups here. You can go with a gravity feed 200 round hopper. That's about $6. You don't have to go with the GFX one, but they definitely look cooler. And of course, these bottles, the CO2 tanks, are available in multiple colors, along with compressed air, which you may have heard is a little bit better air, but they're a little bit more expensive. But that's pretty much it. You're ready to go. When you get to the paintball field, you do want to adjust your velocity. That's basically like a radar gun for your paintball gun. You want to make sure it's not shooting over a certain speed, otherwise it can be unsafe. So before you go and play with your friends, especially if you're playing in the backyard, make sure you go to the paintball store, paintball field, and test the speed of it. We can do that for you, no charge. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you liked the video and you found it helpful. And of course, like it if you found it helpful at all. We really appreciate that. And it helps us let us know that you're actually watching our videos. So thank you again for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.